To start, we're going to do some PNF stretching today as part of our stretch routine. And if you have a towel or a belt or a strap or anything like that that you can use to hook underneath your foot to help with the PNF stretch on the hamstrings, go ahead and grab it right now. If not, I can show you some modifications with your hands as well, but it would make it a little bit easier if you have one. So go ahead, take a minute, grab one, and then we'll get going. Now, as we get started this morning, positive focus. It's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining. It's going to be 65, 70 degrees. So looking forward to an awesome day where we can all have the opportunity to get outside, do some yard work, go for a nice walk, get some exercise, and just enjoy the nice weather. It's almost summertime here in New England. So I'm really excited about it. And I also want to just remind you all that we are all participating in our stretch session here at our own risk. And that before beginning any new exercise routine, you should always consult with your physician to ensure that he clears you to be doing the stretches and exercises within that program. I'm going to be doing a variety of different stretches today, and I encourage you to try them all. But if there is any of them that you do not want to attempt, please feel free to skip them at any point in time. We're providing this as a resource for you, and I want to make sure that you're going to your comfort levels and you're stretching to your flexibility points. So don't go beyond where you may injure yourself in any way. So we're going to get going at this point in time. So good morning, welcome everybody. And if you could just make sure that your microphone is on mute, that would be great as well. So first things first, we're going to start off with some neck stretches. We're going to start off with the top of our body. So what we're going to do is tuck this chin down a little bit, and we're going to rotate the head off to the left-hand side, just like this. And then we're going to come back down and rotate around to the right and down, back again to the left. You can really feel that stretch on each side. And as you come down, you'll feel it through the back of your neck. We'll do it one more time. To the left. And one more time over to the right. Good. Okay, now we're going to work on stretching out our shoulders and our chest and our back a little bit. First things first, we're just going to put our arms straight out to the side like this. Thumbs are up. And I want us to just reach back as far as we can, feeling that stretch right through the chest. And each stretch that we go through, I normally hold for about a count of 15. It's an estimate as I'm talking. So now from here, what I want you to do is I want you to just rotate your thumbs down and continue to push back. You're going to feel this through the chest. We'll get into the bicep here a little bit with the thumbs down. And then the next thing we're going to do is from here, I want you to continue to come back like this. Clasp those hands behind you. And then just lift up and away from your body like this. Really reaching the shoulders back. Okay, like this. And really working to stretch out that chest and those shoulders just a little bit like this. Good. Okay, now I'm going to turn here. I'm going to face back to you. Now we're going to do some trunk stretches. So with our left hand, we're going to reach up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to lean over to our right hand side. So we're aiming towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Over in that corner, you'll feel that stretch through your lat, all the way down through your obliques. You just want to reach. And from here, what you're going to do is you're just going to turn like this and just reach forward with that left arm, really working on stretching right through those shoulder blades, reaching across that body. So you're kind of reaching over towards your right foot. Good. Now we're going to bring it back. Going to do the same thing on our right side. So we're going to reach up and then reach across, feeling that stretch all along the side. Again, you bend and reach as far as is comfortable for your range of motion. None of this should be causing any pain. If it does, then I want you to back off on that stretch. And then from here, we're going to turn and just really reach forward, stretching out through those shoulder blades and back. Good. Now I'm going to come back to center. I'm gonna take our right hand, we're gonna bring it up towards the ceiling, bend it behind us, so our hand is like this. Gonna put our left hand on our right elbow and push straight down. So now you're gonna get that stretch right through our tricep muscle. And we're gonna switch and do the same thing to the left tricep. Get a nice stretch in there. Good. Okay, now we're gonna go down onto the floor. So I'm just gonna adjust my camera a little bit so that you can follow me down. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on our hamstring PNF stretch. So we do a lot of hamstring stretches in the studio with you using PNF. So I want to give you a few tricks that you can do at home to work on that hamstring range of motion when you're not in the studio with us. So we're going to lay back. We'll start with the right hamstring since that's the one that's facing you. I have my trusty towel. You can have a strap, a belt, a dog leash, anything that you can use just to help loop around the bottom of your foot. If you don't have that, then I'll show you some modifications without a towel. So you're going to lay back. I'm going to bring that right leg straight up, and I'm going to scoot back just a little so you can see my foot. There we go. All right. So I'm going to hook back like this. Can you see that? We bring my camera up a little bit more. All these technical difficulties today. There we go. See if that'll work for us. Can you see my foot? There it is. Okay. So again, we're straight with the knee as much as we can. If you have to have a slight bend in the knee, that's fine. You can see how I have my towel wrapped underneath my foot. And all you're gonna do is just pull back with that towel. If you do not have a towel, grab your leg just above your knee and slowly pull back and in. Okay, so that's the modification if you don't have a towel. So we're gonna count this one out. So you're gonna pull this in till you feel that stretch of about an 8. And once you do, we're gonna go ahead and push into this towel for a count of 6. So we're pushing that leg like this. It won't be moving. I'm just showing you the direction you want to be pushing. You're gonna hold that leg steady and you're gonna push in for a count of 6. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax and pull that leg back a little bit deeper. That's it. We're just gonna hold here, let that stretch set in. And now we're going to do it one more time. So here we go. For a count of 6, we're going to push into this towel. Ready? Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. And bring that leg back a little bit deeper till you get to that 8. And you're just going to hold it right there. And just let that stretch set in. Make sure you're breathing. Like I said, good. You can relax. If you need to modify with a slight bend in the knee based on your range of motion, or even if you're stretching and you're down here, that's okay. You go with where your range of motion will take you. So now we're going to do the other side. I'm going to do the left leg. I'm going to turn around so that you can see me. So now we're down. Left leg's coming up. Towel under the foot or hands behind, pretty much right on the mid-calf here. Or wherever you're comfortable reaching. If you can only reach behind the knee, that's fine as well. So again, you modify based on your range of motion. If your leg is here, your leg is here. If it's up higher, some of you may have your leg even closer to your face than I do. I don't have great hamstring flexibility. So here we go, we're getting in position. And we're gonna push for 6, here we go, ready? Push, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Bring that leg back a little bit more and hold. You should be at about that 8, just like we talked about in the studio when it comes to the stretch that you're feeling. I don't want you to be in any kind of pain. If this is painful for you, then you back that stretch down. Okay, here we go one more time for a count of 6. Here we go, ready, push, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax, and bring that leg back a little bit deeper. And we're just gonna hold. Whew. I needed this stretch this morning. Make sure you're breathing through the stretch. Good, and relax. Now we did that twice. You can always feel free to do that more. If you're really working on hamstring flexibility, you can do it 3 or 4 times. It's really dependent on you and how your hamstrings are feeling and how much flexibility you're working to try and gain. So the next stretch we're gonna work through now, we're gonna get into our quads. So for this quad stretch, we're gonna lay on our side and we're gonna stretch the leg that is up on top. So with this leg, we're gonna bend the leg back like this. We're gonna grab right above the ankle and we're gonna pull that knee in towards our bum. So let me turn this way so you can see from the back side, just like this. And you're just gonna hold. Good, and one thing you can do, I'll turn back around. You'll feel that stretch. You wanna keep this leg in line with the body for that quad stretch. Okay, so in order to increase the stretch in the quad, you wanna just keep working on bringing that heel into your bum. In order to work that range of motion a little bit up into your hip flexor, bring that heel into your bum as far as you can bring it. You'll feel a good stretch in the quad. Now extend that hip back just a little bit more. And now you're gonna feel that stretch come up into your hip flexor as well. And we'll just hold. Good, now I'm gonna switch, go to the other side. You can just roll over. I'm gonna turn this way so that I'm facing you and that my top leg is up. Okay, so now we're gonna do that left quad, the same thing. Bring that foot in here, just like this, and just pull that heel in towards your bum, making sure that your leg stays in line with your body. And now slowly, if you want to hit that hip flexor, extend that hip back a little bit as well. I'm just gonna hold. If you are having a problem grabbing that foot, you can always use your towel. Just wrap it around like this and use that to pull let that heel in towards your bum, okay? So you can always use the towel to assist with this stretch if you're having a hard time reaching back and grabbing that heel. Okay, so now we're gonna get up and we're gonna get onto all fours. So I'm gonna turn to my side so you can watch me, okay? What we're gonna do here is we're gonna work on stretching out our back a little bit. So we're gonna start on all fours, and from here, we're gonna push up and try and separate the shoulder blades on our back away from each other and really round that back up. And then from here, we're gonna transition this way. Round that back down and work to bring those shoulder blades together. So you'll feel your shoulder blades come out and then come back in, and you'll feel that stretch in the mid-back, and then you'll feel the stretch through your spine. As we come down, we arch, and then we push out and away. So we're up, and then we come down, squeeze those shoulder blades together, head up, and round, shoulder blades away, head down. And one more time here, shoulder blades squeezing together, looking up. And then same thing, squeeze, pulling those shoulder blades apart, head comes down. Good. Now from here, we're gonna come down onto our stomachs. Hands will be at our sides, right near our shoulders, okay? And all we're gonna do from here, again, this is a stretch for our back. We're just gonna push up. Some of you may come to here, that's okay. Hold here and look up. Others, you may be able to push up and fully extend up this way. Whichever one is most comfortable for you is the one I want you to stay in for right now. So If you're able to get all the way up into the full pose, if not, you stay down here and you come up as far as you're comfortable. And just hold. And from here, what we're going to do next is we're going to come back up into our figure 4 and now just sit back on our feet and really just let those shoulders open up, head comes down, and you're pushing those shoulders down into the floor. And work to elongate that spine. Good. Back up onto all fours here. Now what I want you to do is I want you to come up onto your feet, just like this, and watch what I'm doing with my feet. What I'm working on now is stretching our calves. So stretching the calves from this position, you're just gonna alternate, bringing your heel down towards the carpet or floor, as close as you can get with that heel. If it doesn't get all the way down, that's okay. You go as far as you can. And if you're having a hard time with that position, if you have a table or a chair, you can hold on to the table or chair and continue to do the same thing and just work on stretching out those calves, okay? So again, you modify based on what works for you. Okay? You'll feel those stretches right through those calves. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to come down. I'm going to do one more PNF stretch today. I only threw 2 in there today. So for this one here, you're going to sit down on the floor and you're going to sit in our butterfly pose. So here we're going to work on stretching out the groin. Okay. So feet are together. You're going to sit up nice and tall. And what you're going to do is you're going to slowly bring those heels in towards your pelvis. And when you're sitting up nice and tall, work on pushing that pelvis in towards your feet. That will help to keep the back straight. You don't want to be round like this. You want to be up as tall as you can when we're doing these stretches. So by pushing the pelvis forward into those feet will help you to keep that back straight. So feet together, just like this. Sitting up straight, bring those heels in as close as you can. And when you feel that good stretch, you're going to hold it. And what we're going to do now with our elbows, they're resting here on our knees or on our upper legs, depending on your flexibility and the length of your arms too. All I want you to do is gently just push down. And as you're pushing down onto those legs, I want you to push up into your arms with those legs. So you're pushing up like this, and those arms are going to hold them. So that's where the PNF is coming in. So here we go. I'm going to do it for 6 seconds. Ready? And push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax. Bring those feet in closer. Push down a little bit more with those elbows. Open up that groin area just a little bit more. And hold. Make sure you're breathing. I'm going to do it one more time here. Okay. So I'm going to push our legs up into our elbows. Here we go, and push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Push down with those elbows. Bring those feet in a little bit closer. See if you can get that stretch a little bit deeper. And again, you modify it. If you're here, and you just work to gently push. And when you feel that stretch, you push up into those elbows. And then relax and bring it down a little bit more. So you do this based on where your range of motion is. Some people are going to have better range than me. Some people may not. So you're going to modify based on what your body is telling you when it's feeling that stretch. Okay, so that was our second PNF. You can do this one at home as well. Okay, you can do this 3, 4 times. If your back gets tired, you can always feel free to come sit up back against the wall. okay? And you can do this stretch this way, and that will help to give you a little bit of support in the back if you feel that you need that as well. So those are a few different modifications that you can do with that PNF stretch. So a couple more stretches here. The one we're gonna do now is gonna be a stretch that's gonna help stretch out that low back a little bit and also hit that glute piriformis a bit. So it's a twisting glute stretch. So we're gonna start by stretching our left glute. So right leg is out straight, left leg's coming up and across. I'm going to take my right hand and just like this, my elbow comes across to the outside of my left knee. And I'm just gonna pull that knee across and I'm gonna twist my body. If you can't bring that elbow all the way across, grab like this, pull in and twist. You can keep your left hand on the floor behind you like this for balance if you need to. So we're gonna pull in and we're gonna twist. And you're gonna work to feel that stretch right through the glute and into that piriformis a little bit. Good. Now I'm going to switch sides. So again, leg comes over, grab this way or this way, whatever's most comfortable for you, and twist. Again, you're just pulling that knee, my right knee over towards my left shoulder. Good. Okay. I have one more stretch for you. This one is one you may be familiar with. You may do it on a regular basis. Others may not. It's called a 90-90. So before we get into that, what we're going to do is we're just going to sit with our legs out, bend these knees up. We're just going to work on some internal rotation of the hips. So we're just going to rotate, bring that right knee down and in, then bring it back up and let it rotate out as far as we'll go. And then bring it back up to neutral. And now we did the same thing with the left leg. We're just going to rotate down and in. Okay, we're going to stretch out those external rotators here. And then we're going to come up and we're going to let that leg come back as far as it's going to go, stretching out those internal rotators. Okay, we'll do it one more time on each side just to get those hips ready for the 90-90. So again, right hip, driving that knee down towards the floor. Okay, when I do this, my feet come down on the side like this. Okay, but you want to try and keep your pelvis flat on the ground. I don't want to see you turning like this. That's not rotating the hip. So pelvis stays firm on the ground and you just rotate down and in. And then we do the same thing. We rotate down and back. And you want to feel that right in that hip joint. Good, now I'm going to do the other side. So rotate down and in. Again, hips not coming off the floor, hip is staying on the floor. And you're going to go as far as your hip's going to let you go. And on this one, you'll feel it again here on the outside. And then we're going to turn and rotate it out this way, and you'll feel that stretch in that groin and then the internal rotators of your hip. Good. Okay, for the 90-90, what we're going to do is, it's called that for a reason. We're going to start with our right leg. We're going to bend in front of us like this so it's at a 90-degree angle. Now I'm going to take your left leg and bring that back behind so that that's at a 90-degree angle, okay? Hence the 90-90. Now ideally you want to be up nice and straight on this one. If you can't and your hand is on the floor for balance or to help stabilize you, that's totally fine. This is a stretch we're going to work up and into. If you can't completely get your legs into the 90-90, then you modify based on what you're comfortable with to start, okay? So we're here in the 90-90, we're sitting up nice and tall, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward. You want to keep your back straight. I'm going to turn this way. When we do this, what you don't want is an arched back. Back stays up nice and straight. You can see we've got the 90-90 here, okay? And all you're going to do is slowly reach and lean forward. And when you're doing that, we're pushing on that anterior hip and we're pushing it down and into the floor to feel that stretch. Again, if you have to have your hand here, keep your hand on the floor and just work to reach forward. Okay, and again, we're working to stretch out those hips and that external rotator there on that right hip. We're just going to hold here. You'll feel in this hip, I can feel it in this hip too. Okay, so we're working both hips right now. Good, come back up. Okay, now come back to center, switch your legs. So now the left leg is bent up front at a 90 degree, and your right leg is back behind you in a 90 degree angle, okay? And same thing, you wanna sit up as tall as you can, back nice and straight. Work to drive this hip, I'm on the wrong hip, this hip down into the floor, okay? And lean forward, nice and slow. And you'll feel that stretch really in that left hip. There's some other things that we can add on to this 90-90, and we'll do those as we move forward that will help work some rotation in the posterior hip here as well. So again, if you have to have your hands to help you stabilize, that's fine. The goal is to sit up completely nice and straight, which you can see I even have a hard time doing right now, and just leaning forward and really getting a good stretch in that hip. Just like that, good. That's a good one, I needed that one. And now I'm gonna come back up nice and slow. Again, if this is something that you need to work on, you can continue to do this a couple times. Again, just switch those legs around, and you can do it again here, and then you can switch around and do it again on that left hip. So giving you a variety of different stretches this morning. We PNF'd a couple in here for you so that you can work on some of your PNF at home as well. What we'll do now to finish up is we'll just come up. I'm on the floor here, so I'm gonna stand up. Let me fix my computer for you. Okay. And to finish up like we always do, just a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths. So we're just gonna come down, reach up to the ceiling, exhale, and come back down. Good, we'll do it one more time. Deep breath in. And exhale, all the way down. Well, that wraps up our stretch session for Saturday morning. I hope you feel a little bit more limber, and tune in again for our next stretch session. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. It was great seeing you all. Take care.